Now, a new law will come into effect in Austria, mandating the COVID vaccine for all those aged over 18 who are eligible. Those who refuse to get the jab will face fines of up to €3,600. And if the law goes ahead, Austria will be the first European country to mandate the COVID vaccine for all adults.
So joining us now is Alexander Tschugguel. He's the founder of St. Boniface Institute, a Catholic organisation and opponent of mandatory COVID vaccination. So what is your particular objection to the mandatory COVID vaccination?
Well, the mandatory COVID vaccination is obviously terrible, and we are the first country in the Western world to introduce such a thing, and actually one of the first countries in the whole world to do such a thing. The fines are €3,600, but you can be fined up to 4 times a year. So actually, it's €14,400 a year maximum fine, which is more or less the destruction of every normal earning average citizen in Austria. So obviously, I'm very much opposed to it. And so are many other Austrians. We had lots of protests. We have lots of things going on now. And the problem in Austria is we always have to wait up until the law is in force to fight it on a legal base. So fighting it will start as soon as the vaccine mandates are in force. Just for your information, they are not right now. They still have to go through the last chamber of parliament. After that, they have to be published, and then they are in force. I think this will be at the end of this week. Government said that they will start fining mid-March, so from the 16th of March. And so now lots of people, thousands of people are preparing to sue the state. Thousands of people are continuing to protest. There's a huge strike movement going on. I'm wondering if it really will need to come into action. And at the same time, we see also the government, through obviously the international pressure, lots of other countries stopping to implement those rules. Lots of other countries actually do exactly the opposite, like your country, like the United Kingdom, but also Denmark and Norway, I think, and Spain and Switzerland and the Czech Republic and so on. So we have tons of countries, Ireland. And so obviously the Austrians are a little bit angry, and we had demonstrations going on now for almost 3 months in a row, every Saturday and a few times a week. And I have to say, whatever the government is up to, they will face a very hard time. Even constitutional lawyers, which are on the side of the government, already back down and say, well, let's see if this is really possible.
Yeah. Can I just ask you, given that they know they will face these protests and people will contest the path they're going down, why have they taken this road? Because as we say, it will be the first European country to go down this road. What's the current vaccination rate? Has there been a particular problem with people not being vaccinated in Austria in particular?
Well, compared to countries which have a 90% vaccination rate, we obviously have a way smaller one. We have 70%. Now it's a little bit more. It's 70-something, 72 or 73. But that was not the main problem. There are other countries in Europe which have a lower vaccination rate, and they actually did fine during the crisis. So that was not the problem. I think it was just that our government decided to go this way, and that our government is able to go this way because we have some things introduced which make it possible for us to actually check the vax status of every citizen. We have those laws already since more than a year. So the government knows which citizen is vaxxed and which citizen is not vaxxed, and therefore it's also possible to enforce such a law. And second of all, the government's plan was always to introduce a kind of control system, and this obviously attached to the vax mandate is way more efficient than not attached to such a mandate. And then the third reason, in my eyes, is also international pressure from lots of companies, lots of international organizations. I give you an example. The Austrian government already signed the contract a few months ago, over 44 million doses of Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine over the next 2 years, so 2022 and 2023. And we are only 8.8 million inhabitants. So you can just calculate through it, and you will see that without the vax mandate, they won't need these doses at all, because obviously people won't get themselves jabbed 10 times in a row. So that's the thing, and then additionally there is this ideological fight going on. There's always, as in many Western countries, that unfortunately it's really a war with a huge wall in between the two parties, and both sides are kind of stuck a little bit. I think the resistance movement is quite a living and big and very creative movement right now. Tons of different things happen, and the government tries to really push through what they decided months ago. Even though our current numbers, 360,000 cases of corona right now, is a huge number, even though all those people are mostly vaxxed, show that it is nonsense.
Well, listen, thank you so much for your thoughts. That's Alexander Tschugguel, the founder of St. Boniface Institute, a Catholic organisation and opponent of mandatory vaccination.